I'm William Kumwembe and I welcome you to yet another edition of the program Business Time right here on Times Television. This is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories happening in Malawi and beyond. And coming up in the program today, inflation softens to 8.8%. We have a report. And African Seed Access Index highlights benefits of enacting seed bill. We have these and other stories.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
Hello and welcome. Malawi's headline inflation as measured by the Consumer Price Index went down in January 2019 to 8.8% from 9.9% registered in December 2018. Figures from the National Statistical Office released on Wednesday show that despite the significant month-on-month drop in inflation, the rate is 0.7 percentage points higher than that recorded in January 2018. We have the detail in this report.
During the month under review, food inflation went down to 10.7% from 12.0% recorded in December 2018. Non-food inflation also went down from 8.2% in December 2018 to 7.1%. The non-food inflation drop is partly influenced by downward adjustments of fuel prices for 2 months in a row. Ironically, although inflation fell back-to-back for 2 months, there are fears from the food market where prices of the staple food, maize, are under intense pressure with the lean season now on its peak. A 50-kilogram bag of maize is selling at an average price of 10,000 kwacha in Blantyre, up from 7,500 kwacha in November. But state-owned grain marketer, the Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation, ADMAC, last week said Malawians should not panic during the lean period as it has enough maize at a price of 7,500 kwacha per 50 kg bag. Long queues were seen at some ADMAC markets yesterday in some places in Malawi's commercial city, Blantyre, where consumers waited for a turn to purchase the staple commodity. In its 2018 annual economic report, Nico Asset Managers says as Malawi approaches maize harvest season, food prices are expected to start declining. However, some commentators have warned that inflation could come under pressure in the first half of the year due to spending associated with the May 21 elections. Earlier, an economic commentator and lecturer at ATC, Sam Chiwaula, warned of a continued volatility in inflation in the short to medium terms, but monetary authorities said they expect the headline inflation to hit 9.3% in the first quarter of 2019. In its latest monetary policy report, the Reserve Bank of Malawi predicted headline inflation to hit 9% in the second quarter. The predictions are 0.7 percent points and 1.0 percent points lower than what was predicted during the previous Monetary Policy Committee meeting. The Economist Intelligence Unit, EIU, has predicted Malawi's annual inflation to average 8.9% in 2019.
Industry, Trade and Tourism Minister Francis Kasaira on Wednesday hailed private sector firms for their commitment towards eliminating malnutrition in the country. Kasaira was speaking in Blantyre when he officially launched the Scaling Up Nutrition Business Network, which seeks to reducing malnutrition in all its forms through engaging and supporting businesses to act, invest and innovate in responsible and sustainable actions and operating to improve nutrition. We have the detail in this report.
Kasaira assured private sector members of government support towards the initiative.
Well, it is important that more stakeholders are joining government efforts to deal with the challenge that we have. It is a huge challenge where almost 40% of the population is being affected. It is something worth all of us taking part in dealing with. And us in the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism, today is our very important day and a good day to see that the business community on their own accepted the initiative and joined in with government efforts to try and help us deal with the malnutrition. It has two angles. One, the social aspect of it, and secondly, the business aspect of it. So I'm not surprised that they have seen that in this initiative there are business opportunities, and we are glad that they are taking the initiative head on to help us deal with the malnutrition problem.
The Scaling Up Nutrition Business Network has picked demand creation, improving nutrition regulatory environment, and increased scope of business opportunities as its priority areas. Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Officer Chancellor Kafera Panjira said private sector should regard nutrition as a crucial success factor for their businesses.
Our role as the Secretariat and as a representative body of the private sector is to make sure that we mobilize the players in the sector to promote good nutrition at their workplaces. So we want to make sure that all the government policies and the structures that are within the government passed on are working together with the private sector. Because one of the challenges that we have had is that there has not been direct contact between the government structures that include policies and the actual institutions directly working with the private sector. And our role, as I said, as a representative body is make sure that we are putting private sector in contact with those policies so that the private sector itself is also practicing nutrition. Now, as you are aware, obviously the private sector is very important in nutritional issues because they produce the goods. They trade in goods. And they also have workplaces. There are a lot of people at the workplaces. So in addition to being involved in the actual activities of producing foods that we want to be nutritious, they also have to spread information at their workplaces so that the people at the workplaces know that they have to take food that is nutritious.
The Scaling Up Nutrition Business Network is convened by the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition and World Food Programme. The network's chairperson, Oswald Bwemba, said the initiative will have three key objectives, which include mobilizing businesses to contribute towards reduction of malnutrition in all forms, making good nutrition more aspirational, accessible, affordable and available for all customers, as well as building the case for greater business engagement in nutrition among all stakeholders.
Going to engage gear in nutrition membership drive now, private sector recruitment or membership drive, and that's our focus going forward. Sensitization campaign, in other words, that's what we need to work on. Selling the benefits of belonging to the network by members.
For Times in Blantyre, this is Taonga Sabola.
Digital banking and payment solutions giant FinTech has unveiled smart agency banking machines which seek to promote and enhance agency banking in the country. The devices are smart point-of-sale terminals, rugged tablets and biometric solutions. We have the detail in this report.
The launch of the machines has come at a time when commercial bank operations remain restricted to major cities and towns, thereby excluding the rural masses. FinTech Information Security and Value Add Service Manager George Ondego said the terminals provide a platform through which merchants and retailers carry out daily transactions.
Primarily we have launched three types of devices. One, we have introduced what we are calling the smart POS terminals, which are primarily for what we call the merchant and retail transactions. Number two, these are smart terminals, and unlike the traditional POSs, they're basically Android-based. You're able to, use them the same way you actually use your phone. So it's actually they're much more user-friendly, much more easier to develop softwares for them, much more easier to support, and of course very robust devices for that matter. The number two, we have also done rugged tablets. which are basically what we call the business level types of tablets. Very ideal for a new concept we're trying to introduce into the market called agency banking. So the concept of agency banking is all about trying to reach the unbanked society within the African continent, and Malawi in particular in this case. So the rugged tablet ideally are stronger, they are much more robust and slightly cheaper than what you could get with the consumer tablets. Because ideally the total cost of ownership is much more lower than the usual consumer tablets. Yeah, and then number 3, we have also introduced some biometric solutions, primarily the finger readers. So we have introduced a biometric, which is a key component of what we call the KYC, user custom identification and verification. These devices can do both 1 finger, 2 finger, 10 fingers, 442, all those options. And we are saying that we are introducing a new technology which has been tested and known to work far much better than what we have been using in terms of the optical and the capacity. The devices are FBI certified, they're very flexible, you don't need to clean them up, they are very fast. So basically we are telling our clients, which are basically the banks, that the user experience will be wonderful. We'll be able to serve, like say, very many customers in a very short time. The experience in Uganda has been awesome, wonderful, because ideally what we have seen there is last year there's a project there that was done by the Uganda Bankers Association. It was about a shared platform for agency banking. So FinTech as a play in that project was about supplying the POS terminals. So we supplied quite a number of them, which has been running for almost a year plus. The user experience there has been very perfect. The breakdowns have been almost like less than 1% for the entire 1.5 years almost. So ideally it has been a perfect project and we hope to get better by each time. So we're basically saying that the devices alone are not enough to help in actually encouraging the society to move on. So we're saying apart from the devices, as FinTech, we are doing what is called end-to-end solution. That means we bring in the device, but we also have software that can also enable the government plus the financial sector players to be able to reach the unbanked society of Malawi. So ideally what we're trying to say is that through the agency banking concept, now we're saying banking services, financial services can be taken all the way to the rural villages. All the mothers in the village, in the market, all the farmers who are busy there in the villages can also be reached in a way that they can be part of the savings, they can be part of the banking, they can be. So what basically we're saying is that we want to enable the Malawian government and the financial sector to be able to reach many people as possible without necessarily opening physical branches.
Bankers Association of Malawi Chief Executive Officer Violet Sante said agency banking could help accelerate financial inclusion in the country.
Bankers Association of Malawi, we are happy that FinTech is bringing in technology which is going to support agency banking in Malawi. At the moment, it's difficult for most of our member banks to reach remote areas using the brick-and-mortar branch network. But with the advent of this technology of point-of-sale devices, we believe our members will be able to reach even areas where they cannot put up brick-and-mortar branch network.
For Times in Blantyre, this is Taonga Sabola.
Remember, this is Business Time on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
Welcome back. The African Seed Access Index has emphasized the need to enact the Malawi Seed Bill, strengthen seed regulation and enhance breeding of seed for leguminous crops if the seed sector is to significantly grow and impact positively on agriculture. This follows a study the institution conducted in 2017, which was validated in Lilongwe recently. Chimwemwe Mangazi has the whole story.
The study found that most smallholder farmers in Malawi still rely on informal seed sector due to limited exposure, low availability of most varieties, inability to purchase seeds, and limited access to agro-dealers. It further notes that about 30% of farmers in Malawi use certified seed, ranging from approximately 49% for hybrid maize to 14% for pigeon peas. TASAI Program Coordinator Mainza Mugoya said to sustain an enabling environment for the industry, the government needs to fast-track the passing of the seed policy and enactment of the seed law and subsequently implement these in close collaboration with seed companies and other actors.
There are some strong points in Malawi, including a strong seed association by the name of the Seed Trade Association of Malawi. It's quite strong. Issues around import and export are fairly strong in terms of the number of days to import and the number of days to export. And those who are involved in import-export are fairly satisfied. In addition to that, another strong point is on some of the breeding programs are strong, especially for maize, but other crops is still a bit weak. On the challenges, they're still quite broad. The seed bill has gone through many processes of discussion, so it's about to be discussed and passed by cabinet before it goes to the parliament to be officially passed as a law. That needs to be done before certain institutional changes will be done in the industry. Currently, seed is regulated by the Seed Services Unit. The law now will graduate that unit into a full commission, which has more powers, more resources. Now, because that is still ongoing, some aspects of implementation are weak. In terms of seed inspection services, not enough inspectors. That means you cannot guarantee quality seed throughout the process. One big challenge in the country is on counterfeit seed. Companies are complaining that there's not enough seed that is coming out is not good quality. That's a function of a weak regulatory agency. The issues around breeding, not enough breeders for crops apart from maize, so that's with beans and groundnuts and soybean. There are not enough breeders for such crops. As a result of that, you don't have enough foundation seed for those crops.
Senior Deputy Director in the Department of Agriculture Research Services, David Kamangira, said government already is providing a conducive environment, having reviewed the seed policy and the Seed Act, and that they are conducting meetings with stakeholders on the same.
The environment provided by the government is very conducive. We reviewed the seed policy of 1993 to align it to regional seed harmonization, to SADC and COMESA, and this national seed policy was approved by Cabinet last April, and we did the launch. The launch was done by the Minister of Agriculture, Education and Rural Development in May. And now, after the approval of National Seed Policy, we reviewed the Seed Act of 1996 because it was outdated, and we wanted to align it to the new approved seed policy. So the review was done, and we had National Seed Validation Workshop for all the stakeholders on 16th January 2019, where all the stakeholders were invited to give us an input after the presentation of the seed bill.
The study also highlights that there are approximately 1,902 agriculture extension workers in Malawi, 1,862 of which are employed by the government, translating to a ratio of 1 extension officer per 1,388 agricultural households. From Lilongwe, I'm Chimwemwe Mangazi.
One of the country's telecommunication service providers in the country, TNM, on Wednesday partnered the Malawi Digital Broadcasting Network Limited in a move that will see customers paying for TV services via the Mpamba mobile money platform. Chimwemwe Mangazi has the whole story.
This follows the establishment of Extra View services that MDBNL launched recently, where customers will be required to pay to watch foreign TV channels. Users will be charged 200 kwacha for paying for TV services using the Mpamba platform. MDBNL Chief Executive Officer Dennis Chirwa said the initiative aims at bringing convenience to customers as they will be able to pay at the comfort of their homes.
The partnership is meant to reduce the hassle that many customers who would like to access our product would face. So we'd like to bring them to their homes so that whatever they want to do, they should not necessarily move out of their homes, but then transact everything within. So in effect, we are trying to ensure that Malawian companies can work together and promote the welfare of Malawians. The product that we have launched and we are partnering with the TNM today is a service that is add value. This is the secondary service that the Kriye product has. The first product is the free-to-air service. This free-to-air service will always be there. No one will be disconnected because he has not got the secondary service. Our primary goal as MDBNL is to provide free-to-air service. That is our first obligation and mandatory to our existence. Therefore, that service will always be available to Malawians. So for one to have additional value, it is only the add value that we are asking them to pay. Then you would say there is a fee. If you are going to access any service, say for example you are going to pay ESCOM bill, water bills, whatsoever, likely you will not find the offices within your house. You will likely have to use a service like a minibus or any other transport. You will have time consumed, at the same time transport expenses. If you look at the fee that is being put there, it's 200 kwacha, very minimal, which cannot beat any other service that you will get for you to access a similar service. So it's not necessarily prohibitive. In effect, it's actually helping people not to spend too much when they want to access services that they need in their lives.
TNM Chief Sales and Marketing Officer Daniel Makata said the partnership complements the company's drive for penetration of technological solutions among its customers.
As TNM, we are excited to partner with the MDBNL today on the payment for mobile money because it gives ability for our customers to be able to transact easily because it brings that convenience to our customers, it brings that flexibility for our customers. You know, people will be able now to pay for their TV subscription on Kriye at the comfort of their homes, and that gives us joy because we want to enable our customers to be able to do things easily because, you know, we are a business and people enabler. We want to enable Malawians to be able to transact and to do things easy. And when we started discussing with MDBNL to ensure that people in Malawi are able to pay for their TV subscriptions using Mpamba, we thought it wise as a Malawian company because this is a government-initiated project that is looking at making sure making available TV to everyone in Malawi. And as you know, TNM wants to be available to everyone in Malawi as well. And this partnership basically cements the common purpose that we have between ourselves and government.
MDBNL becomes the fourth pay TV service provider to be listed on the platform. From Lilongwe, I am Chimwemwe Mangazi.
Proceeding with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Old Mutual Investment Group has reiterated its commitment to conserve the environment by planting trees. This was revealed on Wednesday as the company planted 500 trees at Maketa Primary School as part of its campaign to revitalize the environment. The company, together with Wildlife Environment Society of Malawi and the Blantyre Water Board, are focused on community transformation, especially in areas around schools. We have more in this report.
Old Mutual Malawi Group Chief Executive Officer Edith Gia said they are looking at communities as they see the pressure on the environment in peri-urban areas.
With a growing population, scarce resources, energy resources are also quite scarce. The need for us to take care of the environment is very important. This is why we said let's look at a peri-urban area. Let's plant trees there, make sure that we conserve the environment. And as our partners, WEZIM, we actually said this is one such location where we can also come and help around the Moody Dam area.
Gia also mentioned that they plan to plant more trees in the year.
For this particular initiative, we are planting 10,000 trees. It's a combination of indigenous trees and other type of trees. Today we'll be planting 1,000. 9,000 of these trees we are distributing in a number of primary schools around Blantyre for their wildlife clubs to actually also plant trees within their schools.
WEZIM National Chairperson Tuonge Gawa said tree planting is something everyone needs to participate in.
For us, we don't call it tree planting, it's tree growing. And that's a simple thing that everybody can participate in. And I think when corporate companies like this come in to assist to ensure that everyone can plant a tree and grow it and manage it, that is important for us. And it's one of our biggest activities as a society that we do with our clubs. And as you may have heard, Old Mutual is donating 10,000 trees, which will distribute to 20 schools, but we'll also plant in Moody Catchment. And Moody Catchment is also one of our biggest targets. For the past 3 years, we've partnered with Blantyre Water Board to ensure that the trees that we are planting here and growing them and managing them for this water catchment area.
The theme for this year's tree planting exercise is sustainable tree planting for health, water and sanitation. Maketa Primary School headmistress Tokozile Kamwachale said the trees will make a big difference.
It has brought a very difference in our school because most of the times the school experiences different types of weathers. So due to the coming of the trees, our school is going to be protected because the wind won't blow inside the classes. We experience dust because of the bare grounds. So the diseases that occur during these seasons.
On that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time right here on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we'll bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.